Today with the kids, we used our breakout kits that we got through our 4Cs grant to have them utilize their 4C skills: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. And what they were using were questions in a set of clues inside the laptops that you saw that had to do with the stories that we read in this unit. We read some nonfiction speeches and we read some dystopian stories. And all of those clues had the students have to work together to figure out an answer that would undo one or more of the locks that was on the box. And they had to work together. There's no way that they could do this and one kid could race through it, that the one kid could be the one that ends up doing all of the work. It was the team that had the best collaboration. That was the team that ended up winning. And I think, as you saw, the kids really enjoyed it. They got really into it. Anytime you can bring in some kind of competition, because the kids were racing to see who could finish their boxes first, that adds a certain element of engagement to it that certainly amplified what they were doing. So the way the kits worked was the kids went into the laptops and the laptops gave them clues. And as they looked at the laptop clues, they had to figure out some things like a numerical palindrome that came out of one of the stories. And that 3-digit number opened the 3-digit lock. Another question asked them how many days it was between rain on Venus in one of our stories, and they had to figure out, well, it was 7 years in between the rain. They had a calculator in their supplies, so they did the math on that and they entered the 4 digits in and got it. There was a word lock. So one of the questions had them think through a word answer, and when they came up with the right word, that opened that lock. One of the clues was actually a USB drive that they then put into the laptop, and that opened a clue that had them find something in the room. So they had to really collaborate. If a group stayed together and went as a group around the room, it was not nearly as good as the group that communicated with each other and said, hey, you look there and you look, and they broke apart and they found what they needed to find. And then they had to search all of the things that they were given to find a secret message. And that secret message was how they yelled out the answer, and that's how they won the competition. So this activity with the breakout kits, we couldn't have done without the 4Cs grant, because the boxes, they cost some money, and this made it so we were able to get the boxes. We used funds from the grant to have planning opportunities to work together. So all of these things are shared between all of the teachers in English 1. And this is truly one of the few things that I can think of in my classroom that all 4Cs are in play at the same time. I do a lot of things with my kids that ask them to collaborate and communicate, but it might not have the critical thinking and the creative angle quite as much. This is one of the few things we do that all 4 are in play at the same time, and really the ones who end up winning are the ones that use those 4 skills the best. It's not who remembers the most out of the stories. It's not about fact recall. It's about what can they do and how well can they work together, and those teams are the most successful with this activity.